go. All right, guys. Welcome back to another Stiff Rods podcast. We are back here in the original studio from our first episode. We have traveled to many locations, but this seems to be the best one. Best lighting. Got a nice little table set up here, but yeah, we got a couple of topics. We actually wrote down some notes today. We're not just going straight off the dome. So, yeah. So the first thing that happened. Oh, dude, the other thing we need to do 364 update.
Yeah, start with that.
Yeah. Okay.
And you can even add a kitty cat update if you even have
Oh
one.
yeah.
Yeah, we can do a Kit Kat update.
All
I
right.
think we should restart your little podcast deal, right?
Yeah, this has been a blunder.
What do you mean?
Just just go back into it, like, we're back with another episode, because we took a long break to type it down.
Okay. All right, guys. Welcome back to the Stiff Rods podcast. Today we got another episode here in the original studio. We've traveled to many different locations since our first one, but we're back here, and we got several topics. We actually wrote down notes today, and we're going to be going through them. So, per usual, I guess we'll start off with the 364 update. Since I last talked about it in the last episode, I refilled the, I don't know if I talked about that, I refilled the silicone
Yeah,
on the rub rail.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it still takes on water. The transom,
Has not
she's
fixed itself.
she's holding on there, so I've been fishing literally just idling around Table Rock, and just fishing like yesterday I fished in Ants Creek, and there ain't much for the 364 honestly. I'm just waiting to hear back from Championship on the transom. Trying to get that repaired ASAP, and then I think that's all I got. Trolling motor has been good. I had a little bit of problems with it at Darnell, but it's been actually pretty good right now. So that's all I got for my boat.
Well, I guess we can talk about the kitty cat for a little bit. So, the Bass Cat has been in the shop at Pro Shores Marine since a week after Kentucky Lake, which was, 2 months ago now?
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Initially, we talked about it, I had almost ripped my jack plate off. So we are still in the process of getting a new jack plate in, and then they're gonna put that on, but hopefully, should be here in the next couple of weeks. They're gonna start building my new boat here in a couple of weeks, so that'd be good. Have some new rig, fresh for next year, so.
Didn't you, wait, with your new or with your old one, are we taking it back at Pines?
Yeah, we'll just take we'll take my old boat back to Pines, and we'll leave it there, and then I'll pick my new one up on my way back to Texas for Christmas break.
That's right, okay.
Yeah.
Yep, so we've been fishing on the Nitro. She's been doing us well. She had a couple of aches. We took off part of the skag. The graph tends to work when it wants to work recently. Counts for that. Seems like every time you hit a bump, she likes to turn off. Other than that, she's a little bumpy, but we do all right.
Yeah. I guess it's like a every podcast thing now to do the 364 update.
Yeah.
Until she's fixed, we'll do a 364 update every time.
Yep.
But okay.
We can do it for a while.
Okay. Pickwick. That was right after our first one. You guys went there.
Yeah, right after.
Let's hear about it.
Go ahead.
Pickwick was another doozy. The tournaments we've had before, we normally have a pretty decent practice, and it's always something stupid, just execution errors. Pickwick, it beat us. Pickwick beat us.
Yes, indeed.
We didn't have very strong practice. Didn't really find the fish that we needed to find. We found a few fish, but I don't know if they were the right fish for any.
And the fish that we did find just happened to be 80 miles in opposite directions. Yeah, we just never find the caliber of fish that we're looking for. Honestly, never got on a consistent bite where I felt like we could go to just any one spot and catch a limit, which is really what I thought all it would take, but apparently not. Those boys caught them. They usually do.
I really didn't think. I didn't think it was gonna be.
No, I figured, honestly, after our practice, I figured 10 or 11 pounds and you'd be going to the national championship, but
That's what it was.
really, was it?
Came out at like 12 and a half.
Yeah, 12
Yeah,
and
but
a
then they
half.
have double qualifiers, so it's probably less.
Yeah. Probably around 12 with Matt.
That's true.
doubles.
I just know
Wow.
showing up to weigh in with one keeper spot did not feel great. Never does, never will. So,
But that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
agreed. We're in a little bit of a slump ourselves. There's nothing you can really do except fish your way out of it. We're doing everything right, putting in time on the water, so we'll come out of it eventually.
We tried to knock it out. Me and Carter, the day after we got back from Pickwick, me and Cade, me and Carter sent her to the Table Rock. We almost got blown off Table Rock. So, yeah. I mean, all it took was like a little change, and it was like a whole different confidence booster. It was just a 30-minute run after trailing.
Heck yeah. Yeah, it was, so we had our fall break, and they were in Pickwick, and then when they came back, we fished the Table Rock there. I've just been personally fishing on Table Rock a lot. You know, I would love to live down here eventually once school is done with, and so kind of making these, settling in, making these like my home waters. So I fished on Table Rock a ton last week, and it's pretty brutal right now. Honestly, if you guys are heading to Table Rock, the fishing report is very brutal. It's like right in the transition right now, in my opinion, depending on what part of the lake you're in. So puts a lot of those fish, you know, in a really weird spot.
Yeah.
The turnover, which I've learned a lot about, is definitely happening, and it's a lot longer process when you're on a lake that's like 200 some feet deep, or 300 in some spots. So it definitely makes it interesting. But me and Caleb, we got second big bass.
We did get second place. It paid for our entry feedback. I was very proud of that check.
That's $60.
Actually, not. The practice day we had was a decent day after we figured.
Yeah.
We had to figure some stuff out, make a lot of change from
Yeah.
going to 90 foot of water to
Yeah.
beating the bank. And I thought we'd end up with a bag. We had three of the right ones.
Yeah.
We just couldn't put two with it.
Yeah, it was just a lot of pressure. Like we don't have much experience here, and didn't realize that our stuff we fish is all community stuff.
Yeah.
And so like everyone was fishing pretty much, and
I
at
don't-
least now we know.
Yeah, I don't even know if it was so much community, but with a Moyak kayak tournament
Oh,
going
yeah.
on,
Yeah.
they're gonna try and stay out of the wind, and those places were about the only way out of the wind.
Yeah,
It
it's-
was freaking blowing.
It was blowing probably 25 mile an hour, 25, 30.
Yeah,
And man, that main lake, I love fishing the main lake. I love live scoping, fishing offshore and stuff like that. But that main lake, man, you just cannot hold your boat on that stuff. I definitely think that's a place, time and place where target lock would have been a key thing. Like, I don't know if you could have done it the whole day, because it's pretty hard.
yeah. Well, it was tough.
But like, if you got on those points that we're fishing, spot lock, and just
Mhm.
kind of turn her around.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
But-
We ended up catching a few fish doing it. I don't know if it was mostly luck or what it was, but I think I hit one on the head.
Yeah, yeah.
That's about it.
I mean, this time of year, you really just gotta. There's so many fish down there that like, you will not catch it. That's how it always is with live scope. There's so many fish down there you see and yank and catch, but especially this time of year, like they'll chase it down, look at it, and turn around. So you really gotta play with your technique, and you really gotta hit them right on the head. But yeah, that's pretty much the Table Rock fishing update. I went to Ants Creek the other day, or yesterday, and fished around that area. It's still pretty brutal. So
Yeah. Other than that,
it's getting cold though, so
Yeah, I mean,
it'll turn on.
it is the water temperature from the top of the high James River, top of James River, to where we were was like an 8-degree difference.
Yeah.
It was something stupid.
Yeah.
And it seemed like the only way that we were catching it had to be that 8-degree difference.
What's your water temp looking like out there right now?
It was like 6. When we got way up there, it was like 50 something.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're pretty much coming to a wrap on the college season. We've got one more event that some of us are going to. We're gonna head down there to Texas, back to my home state, a little bit of home
Yeah.
waters, and head to Lake of the Pines, which should be a fun one, might not be. I've talked to a couple guys, and they said it's super tough as of about 2 weeks ago, so we'll see. I think there's gonna be fish caught up shallow and offshore, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows how it's gonna be won. I haven't seen the lake in 2 years, so.
I actually just watched a thing on it on Facebook. They just posted. It looks super low.
Really?
It looks stupid low.
Yeah, well,
It's only 2.5 foot above or below what it's supposed to be.
really?
It
2.5 foot below pool?
I guess it's a lot. It's just a lot
The
different scenery
report
I've
that
seen.
they just posted on the Texas Parks and Wildlife website said that it was only 3/4 of a foot below fall stage.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nobody
I mean,
knows.
everybody's
it was
gonna be,
different than what I've ever seen.
everybody's gonna be faced with the same conditions. Somebody's gonna win it. Might as well be us. We're just gonna have to put in the
I
time.
mean, yeah, the dang old slump.
Huh?
Yeah,
The dang slump.
hopefully I can get out one this weekend as a co.
Oh yeah, Lake of the Ozarks.
Lake of the Ozarks. It's fishing also very brutal right now, as with the whole lakes around the
Yeah.
country. But yeah, I'm fishing in the BASS Nation State Tournament as a co.
Heck yeah. The path to the Bassmaster Classic.
Yeah. One of the, I think I told you today, I didn't tell you, but one of the guys at my club had his boat tied up to a dock, and it's been raining a couple days. Well, the bilge decided to quit working.
Mm.
And he came out to his boat this morning, and the only thing left of it was the nose sticking out of the water.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Should I go show? should I
Oh,
go
we got a
show
picture?
up
I
close?
got a picture of it.
He can send it to you. Overlay it.
Mr. Lee, I fished with him as a boater, or as a co. He's a.
While he's finding that picture, I went home for fall break. I don't know if you guys went down to Pickwick, Carter stayed here. I went back home for fall break, and it is fishing as tough as it ever has. We went back to the space age, really. We had a nice 2D sonar. It was really nice to ditch the live scope. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I would have not been a happy camper. That's a good rope, though.
Wonder if you can go get it and focus on the camera.
No, I can just, you can send it to me, I can put it up. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Water
Yeah.
temp back
She
home
sang.
in Wisconsin is 40. That really helps out. I completely missed the entire fall bite. We are now into the early winter bite, so.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
What is the stages when it gets up there like that? I have no idea. Like,
Once you
is
get,
there just a early winter and that's about it?
there's always a really good fall period.
Mm.
It's just September is horrible. No matter where in the state you go, September is the worst month to fish because it goes from 75 degrees down to about 50. And it's just horrible. You'd think, oh yeah, you can catch them on that transition. No. They are either deep or they are either shallow. You can't catch either of them.
Just lockjaw fish.
And
That's
then
fall fishing.
you hit October 1st, and then you got the first 2 weeks of October, and almost everywhere it's just
Lights out.
insane. I mean, I saw, actually this September was really good. It seems like it actually was a little bit early this year, where that fall bite really started late September, because I saw a buddy of mine, Brock Letterman from UWSP, him and his partner dropped a 19.5 pound bag on the Wisconsin River.
Yep, I saw that.
That's huge.
I did see
Like
that.
we haven't seen that in years. And then I saw somebody dropped a 18 pound bag on the Alpaca chain. I saw somebody drop 21 on the Wolf River on Bago system. It fished good early October. but- Yeah. That's,
Well,
it
I mean-
usually takes 18 or 19 to win in the fall out there.
That seems to be the consensus around the country right now, is that almost everywhere is fishing pretty tough. I know Dad got a wild hair the other day and decided to jump in the open at Rayburn. And he fished as a co and ended up having 11 pounds for a 2-day total and finishing 14th out of the field.
Wow.
But that's
That was on 3 fish.
Yeah, it was on 3 fish. It's a 3
Yeah.
fish limit, but still, for Rayburn, that's pretty tough. I know a guy on day 2, on day 1 he had 7 pounds, day 2 he had 31 and a half or something like that.
6 pounds on the first day, 32 pounds almost on the second
Yeah,
day.
it's
The same
just,
thing.
that's Rayburn. I don't know.
Logan Latuso, insane.
Ozarks had the same deal. 19 pounds one day, 4 the other day.
Gosh, dang.
Yep. So, yeah, I've been hearing a bunch of stuff. Speaking of like Bassmaster and stuff like that, I've been hearing about the change in the BPT rules. That interests me a lot, actually.
Yes, I have, well, most of us here are aspiring professional fishermen. So looking at the changes, I don't know. I think I've always fished Toyota Series. I've never fished the Open as a co-angler, just because the way they got it set up, in my opinion, Toyota Series is financially better for a co-angler. But you know, I'm not against bass in any way, but I think MLF is great. The Bass Pro Tour and that whole thing at the beginning was great because they're bringing like change. You know, it's obviously been going, they've been doing the same thing for 40, 50 years, and you know, it's the payouts and all that are I mean, to be honest, they're going down from what they were in the past.
Absolutely.
And so what MLF did was trying to bring change to the sport and get more eyes on it, and you know, it was a great way to do that. And bringing the 5 fish limit, I think is really good for the fishermen, because what you're doing is you have a catch, weigh, release format. You have a live score tracker update, so you know how you're doing, and then you have periods. You have time to run to your spots in the morning. It's not like, you know, racing, which in theory, running your first spot is kind of one of the fun parts. But
especially
at least,
For some of us,
yeah, but in my opinion, MLF is now the same way that Bass is in the Elite Series, essentially. But what they're doing is creating that format so that all you're focusing on is the fishing. You're not worried about time, you know, running back to the ramp. You're not worried about keeping your fish alive. Yeah, and it's conservation. It's conservation friendly for all of our lakes. Now that we have high school and college tournaments and all these things going on these bodies of water, catch, weigh, release is definitely the way to go if you can do that. So I think it's great what MLF is doing.
Absolutely.
Personally, I don't know how you guys do
And I agree that, you know, it was at the time, it was good for the sport. You know, it brought new eyes and all that stuff. But to be honest with you, I don't think anything will ever be better than a 5 fish limit. I just
no.
I think don't get me wrong. I think that format suits some guys the way they fish. I mean, look at Jacob Wheeler. He's blown up. But then you got guys, big names, that have just completely fallen off the map since they've joined BPT. And it's simply because, I mean, they're hunting for biggins, or that's what they've always done. And
Yeah, like shallow water guys.
yeah, and now you've got guys that are going out there and catching 101 pounders, and they're winning. They're still winning it fair and square, but it's a little bit different than what everybody else is used to.
Well, I think it'll help improve the dynamic as far as some of their tournaments. You know, you start getting around. I know last year and the year before there was a lot of controversy over. They had one event, I can't remember where it was. It was somewhere up north where guys were literally catching the same smallmouth several times off of a bed.
Oh yeah, that was St. Lawrence.
Yeah, and that's a joke. And people are like, "Oh, there's no way you're going to catch the same fish 3-4 times in a row."
Yeah.
Well,
You ain't never seen a Great Lakes smallmouth on a bed. You could throw a bear hook in there 4 times in a row, and they would eat it, and you could land them. You could take 20 pictures of them, throw them back. They'll swim right down to that bed, and they'll do the same thing over and over and over again.
If you can still do that in catch, weigh, release format. I never thought about that.
I never thought about that either, but
Yeah,
like
that's a loophole.
at home we have
That is a
Infinite
loophole.
weight.
so at home we have like slot lakes and stuff where, you know, you can only keep fish within a certain measurement and whatever.
Yeah.
So we have what they call board tournaments. So in reality, you know, it's hard to keep everybody truthful in a situation like that. But you know, we have these boards, and they give you a pencil, and you throw the fish on there, and you measure them out and make a mark. And then the state gives out this table where they look at his length, and then they kind of make an estimate on what he should weigh, and that's how they get our 5 bass limit weights.
Really?
Yeah. So like in board tournaments, I have done that before. Like I've caught a bedfish, measured him, throw him back, and caught him again and measured him again.
There's
It's not against the rules. It's
Yeah.
just-
Huh.
I'm sure there will be a rule though.
Do you have
Yeah.
those tournaments where like unders or overs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what it is.
You fish tournament on Egypt.
I have maybe
Yeah.
done that. We used to
Do
have
that
this
way.
club back at home on this one lake that we fished, and my dad walked over by this guy's boat, and there was fish clipping, like their tails clippings all over the front of his deck. Well, he was catching like 13 and a half inch fish and cutting it down to 12 inches. And then he's weighing a pound fish that was a 1.415.
Egypt was like the weirdest I fished one tournament down there, and it was like the weirdest limit.
Yeah,
it's like you can only have 4 over like 17, and then 1 like under 13.
Yeah, like those places we have the board tournaments at, you can have 1. It's like, I mean, it's 4. You can have 1 over 24 or 21, whatever it is.
Yeah.
A 24-inch
24, dude.
That's
in
nothing
Fort.
to him, though.
I mean, it's doable.
Lake Fork is incredible. It is the best fishery I have ever fished in my entire life. I mean, go out in 4 hours, catch a 28-pound bag, and it's like the guide that I went with for 4-hour trip. He goes, "Yeah, it was a good day. You know, not the greatest, but man, it was a great day out there." And I go, "Are you kidding me? We caught as many 5-pounders as you could have wanted. I mean, it was literally just
What time of year?
all on a frog. It was mid-May.
Were you all there were you all there when the mayfly hatch happened?
It was prime threadfin shad spawn
Really?
when we were there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
That's
just
a no-brainer.
incredible. There's just this fence line, there's all this algae on it, and I guess the way that I understood it, those threadfin can't swim through that algae, or they won't. So they'll try and go around the fence, and those bass will just sit on the bottom of that fence and just crush them. They'll chase them all the way up to the edge, and you can sit there and just throw anything up there, and they'll destroy it. We were catching them on a little baby frog, just that tiny little popping frog.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yep. That place is a fun place. There's so many places in Texas like that. It's not
Yeah.
fun.
Even
You got a bunch of like unmarked things.
Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff that's like off the wall that not a whole lot of people know about. That on any given day, I'd be surprised if you go there and don't catch 20.
yeah.
Don't catch 20 pounds. So.
I mean, I know Tyler, my brother, he fished for Vala, but when he had the All-American event down on Quitman, he was really impressed with there. He'd never heard of it before. He got paired with Carl Jochimson for that, but he had Tyler had a 7, just under a 7, like a 6.14 or something, and Carl had a 6.0, I think, or just under.
Yeah. I mean,
just incredible.
Texas Parks and Wildlife does a great job with conservation.
Best
The whole
conservation
Share
in the
program and
entire
all that stuff.
country.
Yeah.
I mean, they put, if our DNR back home in Wisconsin put the amount of effort into it as Texas did, I mean, it's incredible. And their Share Lunker program's incredible. They get all that support from them. Do they still do the thing with Toyota where they give away a truck?
I'm not sure if they do that anymore. I know they do it, now they do it for redfish and saltwater fish like that, but I don't know that they do it.
Just incredible. I mean, but also you guys don't have the dilemma of, you know, back home it's all about walleyes. Y'all ain't got the walleyes.
No.
Y'all treat crappie like we treat walleyes.
Yeah. So, yeah, Rayburn, especially in summertime, we'll go sink brush piles and crappie, they're just everywhere, dude.
Heck yeah.
It'll be nothing to go for 4 hours and catch 100. So
Yeah, we don't
and
have
that's I mean, the biggins that you catch in Rayburn, they're in the brush pile eating the crappie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Our conservation goes to our duck holes. That's about them they go to.
I have not seen a single Missouri game warden since I've been down here.
Really?
Not a single one.
I don't know if I have either.
We got a bunch of minnow marshals.
Our Wisconsin game
Minnow
wardens are an
marshals.
absolute
minnow
joke.
marshals, possum police, whatever you want to call them. Game warden.
Green
Barney
jeans.
Fife.
We call them green jeans. I haven't
Yeah.
seen one. Normally they're all over Lake of the Ozarks. I guess.
Well, it's not.
Days.
Yeah,
I
it's
haven't
not.
been there. Yeah.
It's not party.
Not party hardy time.
Our wardens back home are kind of a joke. I mean, I had one where right when I bought my boat this spring, I took full advantage of the maximum time allotted to run without registration decals because obviously it looks cooler without your big blue sticker that says you're allowed to be on the lake. And I ran my full time allotted without them, and I got passed by 5 or 6 warden boats. Like, even I'll be fishing somewhere in a no wake and they'll stop, they'll idle by and I'll look at them and they'll go, "Hey, how's it going? You catching any fish?" "Not since you're here, sir." Keep on. Go on. Go find somebody poaching walleyes. I don't matter.
Poaching walleyes.
Lead, lead weights.
Man, the walleye poaching is very real.
I've never heard of deer poachers.
Walleye.
Dude.
Well, it makes sense because
I mean, like,
it's like the
catching
best
water,
tasting fish in the
yeah.
lake, pretty much.
The Winnebago system switched to a 3-fish, 15-inch size limit a couple of years ago, and that changes the dilemma.
I guess it's no different than filling 3/4 up with crappie.
Yeah. I mean, during the spring with that white bass run, like, there's a page on Facebook, a guy that does guided white bass trips, and he said he'll do 3 4-hour trips in a day, and he made one post this spring, and he was like, we had 328 white bass, and he'll just fill up. He's got that huge Yeti that's like the size of this table, and he just fills them up to the brim, goes, and all these guys, they got the house on the river, they'll roll up there, dump them in the freezer, go back out, do it again.
Golly.
I don't know how you even fillet 328 fish.
But I can tell you, it is a chore to clean 100 trout.
Yeah.
Especially by yourself. It'll
I
take
mean-
me. I can do it in like 2.5 hours. But it'll take me a while by myself.
A
Then you
3-4
get
man,
burnt out and don't want to do it for the next 4 months.
Oh yeah.
a 3-4 man panfish limit through the ice is the same way. Like, you know, because our limit is 25 on panfish, 25 a guy. So you get a 4-man limit and get 100 panfish, and you know, there's some guys they use the electric knife and they just blow through it. And I'm a little bit picky on my filleting, so I'll take the Bubba blade and I'll massage it, get every inch of meat off of it. If I taste a bone in a fish, I'll just be mad.
Never tasted a bone of fish with a fillet knife. Like crappie? Never had an issue with that.
Crappie are really easy to fillet though.
That's true. I don't
We
know
we don't get a
much.
ton of crappie through the ice. It's mostly like bluegills and really bony little suckers.
You eat those?
Suckers? No, I'm referring to the other panfish as suckers.
Oh, I was gonna. Ugh.
Rock bass though, or as Brian Shipman calls them,
Goggle eyes.
goggle eyes.
That's what we call them at home.
Yeah, it's
Really?
Yeah, there's a whole different like thing for them. Like there's like creek chubs, like your bluegill, and then you got.
That is unbelievable.
Goggle eye. Yeah.
Me and
Yeah.
so we have this side of the table, team rock bass. That side of the table, team
rock
goggle eye.
bass and goggle eyes are different things.
What the hell's a goggle
Yeah.
eye?
No.
Yes, they are.
Title of the podcast.
No, I literally looked up
What
goggle.
is a goggle eye?
Yeah, there it is right there.
Oh, a green sunfish.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No.
Is that a warmouth?
Yeah, it's a
It's a
warmouth.
warmouth.
A warmouth and goggle eye are the same
It's a
thing,
green
but a rock bass is
sunfish.
different than them.
Yeah.
Why is
Okay.
it called a goggle eye?
Because
It's
it's
got
got
big
big
old
old
eyes
eyes.
on it.
Why would you call it,
It
a
doesn't
goggle
really
eye, not
have,
a warmouth?
compared to a rock bass, it does not have very
No.
big eyes.
Okay, back home, there's like certain rivers you catch these ones in. They're totally
Goggle
different
eye
than a rock
versus
bass.
rock bass. What are your thoughts?
Those
What
ones?
is it?
Like these fish.
Is
Yeah,
it-
that's a rock bass.
That's a rock-
That's a rock.
That's what I just looked up. Rock bass.
Yeah, but it's different than see.
It's
not,
different
That's
than
not a goggle eye.
Yeah, goggle eye has the red one.
Yeah.
A goggle eye has a red eye versus
No.
what?
A goggle eye is a
That's
green
red.
sunfish.
It's completely.
A goggle eye is a warmouth.
Anyway,
Title of this podcast.
Bluegill
What
are a
is,
whole different
Is it
freaking
more-
world.
what
See,
is
okay,
a goggle eye?
This is the ones we catch back at home.
That's a rock bass.
No.
Goggle eye or
We got
rock
the
bass
red eye.
fishing tactics.
That's a rock bass.
Oh, Bass Pro Shop's giving us the juice on the old rock
This
bass.
thing right here.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, we could have a whole different argument on this.
I mean, it's like bluegill or brim.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Oh, bluegill and brim.
Here we are talking about trash
Same
fish on
thing.
bass fishing.
Same thing.
Well,
Oh, my
our results as of late, that's kind of what we're resorting
Yeah,
to.
Coach made a joke to me earlier and asked me if I needed all 5 cold tags or if I could just get 2 of them. And Coach, you know, that would be fitting for this situation.
The comeback tournament.
It
Oh,
hurts.
yeah.
Good comeback term.
Just cry a little.
At old pines.
Yep.
I did catch my first saw guy. Is that right?
Yeah, sawguy.
Saw guy.
That's what a sawguy is. It's a southern walleye, right? You never heard of one, have
It's
you?
a sauger.
Sauger. Yeah,
It's
it's
a
a
sauger.
sauger.
I don't know.
You got it mixed up with goggle eye.
Oh,
Yeah, you had me messed up. It's a sauger. That's what I called it though.
A
A
sauger.
sauger.
We were calling it a sauger 10 days ago. Whenever we were at Pickwick.
Yeah,
People you see out in the forest with the chainsaws, those are saw guys.
And that's exactly what I told him. He caught that sauger, and I said, dude, that's exactly what you get for throwing a net. That's what happened.
Dude, don't diss the netter.
That's what I'm saying.
It is a walleye. Have
Well,
you caught a
yeah.
fish on that yet?
Huh? Have I caught a fish on the net rig?
He hasn't
No.
picked it
Biggest
up.
walleye I've ever. We didn't have a bump that went far enough for this walleye. But my boater had the kitty cat bump board, and it goes to what, 22? Like 21 or 22?
Yeah.
I think it was like 21 plus, I think like 10. 8, but somewhere between 8 and 10, because it's kind of a little fuzzy because it's just got the Bass Cat logo. It doesn't start reading inches till like, I think it's 10.
Yeah, 10.
But it was over 30, and it was just an absolute freaking gigantic walleye. You don't catch them that big on the Mississippi River.
Really?
I mean, my boater said that was the biggest walleye he's ever seen in 30-some years of fishing out there.
Oh, wow.
Old timer with an arrow,
You
with a
should-
zook on
Mm-hmm, yeah.
it.
Yep.
That era, love it.
Telling you.
I love the seating arrangement in an era. At first, you look at the Bass Cat kind of does things a little different with their compartments.
Yeah.
Love the way. I mean, it's a taste that grows on you.
Oh, absolutely.
Like
absolutely.
you look at it at first and you're like, man, that is weird.
Yeah.
And then you start actually like using it, and you're like, kind of is a great use of the space.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really close.
You sit down in those seats, and you're at eye level with the front deck, and you just feel like you're in a rocking chair.
Exactly.
I've never felt so safe.
I love that era.
Well, when I sit down.
Is your
at
carousel
first,
the
when
same
you
way or
start
not
crying,
quite?
Yeah, I don't sit quite as low, but my distance from the seat to the actual floor of the boat is a lot farther.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. I thought because I went to my local Bass Cat dealership with a tape measure. They had an Era, a Caracal, and a Pantera 2 sitting there. Because I loved the Era so much.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't just measuring that. I was measuring the front deck because
You wouldn't
they
be
don't.
a guy to bring a table.
Yeah. Dude, I think going from the Caracal to the Era is going to be
Absolutely.
a little bit difficult. But, my boat before this
Exactly.
boat was an Era, and it was super narrow and super fast. And I've gone now to this slug of a Caracal, which still runs pretty fast, but it is an absolute unit.
Big boy.
It carries 8 foot of deck all the way out. So
900
It's like a
hours
small
deep.
barge.
900
hours
hours deep.
strong.
Yep.
What a rig.
I think we can get it up to 1,000 by the time we get rid of it.
Probably so. If I had to guess, I bet we'll put 1,000 hours on the old 4-stroke.
She's still
Well,
really
what
strong.
else do we got? Is that about it?
I don't know. I
Shut
looked
it.
up the difference between a walleye and a sauger, and it's got a little bit more.
No, it
Yeah,
just has like
the
dark
The way that
spots.
I always saw it was a sauger. I mean, you can kind of tell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Never. No. Not in my parks. Haven't seen one of those.
No, they have them here though, don't they? Actually, Table Rock has a really good walleye population.
You
Yeah.
could fillet them both just the same. Yeah. They'll taste.
No,
the
you
same.
weren't finding the one I caught. You can use
Yeah,
it as a
about
toothpick.
That long, little cigarette looking.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Well,
We're at 35, 40 minutes right now.
Stiff Rod Pod.
The Fraud Pod, episode
Quattro.
4. I honestly, I gotta quit yawning. I'm not gonna lie. I'm surprised we made it this far.
It always turns around at some point. It's always like
no. Once we did the first one, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be like a regular thing. But like before that, I thought it was just like a cool idea
Yeah.
that like we
No,
forget
we've
about.
turned
We
dreams
have-
into reality.
We have turned our dreams into reality.
We
Can't say.
Well, the views will come.
Oh.
Over time.
no shout out for the. Where can I get a Crockett Gator busted? Tell me.
Crockegator.com.
Crockett
Just look it up. Yeah,
Or the
Crockegator.
local retailers.
Or the
Or
local retailers.
local
You can
retailers.
go right over to Baitworks. You can get you
I
one
will
there.
go to Baitworks tomorrow and buy some. I
Yeah.
want to play around with it. So.
I got, if you want, I got a bunch in the boat.
Heck yeah.
You can play with it.
Thank you,
And,
Alright. Well, I've got a Spanish quiz to go take before
Okay.
midnight.
When do you not have Spanish?
I'm going to sleep.
I don't know, I'm learning habla español.
I am going to go to an event.
Oh, yeah, for, yep.
Yep.
Well,
You
Yeah.
have fun with that.
Peace out.
Stiff
Stiff Rod
Rod Pod,
Podcast.
number
episode 4.
Yeah.
Peace
Peace
out.
out. Hell yeah. Is this yours or mine?
Hey.
Can I drink it?
alright.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Hold on, don't take it off yet. We gotta look at this one.
I don't know how to close this, so it's just going to stay.
Stiff Rod Pod.
Stiff Rod Pod.
What'd you send me? Oh. I hope you know that's going to be in the video. now.
It better not be.
Cade Lipham with his, hey, that's what you should do. You gotta edit our Insta tags.
Heck yeah. your instinct